There comes a time in every man's life when he has to decide whether you pull out or you don't, because the consequences can be very long term. We're talking about teeth, of course. Do you pull that tooth out or do you save it?
Definitely talk about teeth.
What else would we talk
What
about?
else will we talk about?
Welcome to Hills Talk. My name is Craig.
And my name is Surprise.
We're going to talk about, like, should you save it or should you kill it? Sounds like a bullshit now, but again, teeth.
Teeth.
Can you shut up?
So I'm just gonna start with a preamble.
Mhm.
No funny lines. Because I like humor. But my preamble is every replacement we do, whether filling, a crown, whatever, will never beat Mother Nature. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. So that's the opening caveat. So whatever we say, just know that that's the belief we have. That's why we always advocate for saving your natural teeth. However, we'll discuss circumstances that you can deviate from that and where we feel like, you know what, it is worth it. The risks to reward are worth it.
Like, yeah, sometimes you just have to pull out a tooth. You have to, there's no other option. Like, if you've seen our previous videos, you know we always advocate for Mother Nature, but there are just some situations where it just doesn't make sense. Like, for instance, impacted wisdom teeth that are causing recurring infections. That is one of the most obvious. The best thing to do, remove those teeth. And other instances where you would remove them without hesitation.
Other instances, a tooth which is not in the aesthetic zone, so tooth that's far back, and let's say the tooth above it is already extracted and it has a big cavity. It's like, you know what? And I'm talking about like your second molar. I would.
Like if it's overerupting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in some of those cases, especially when there's no opposing tooth that's
Yeah.
stopping it from like going
Yeah.
under.
Yeah.
Like,
So opposing tooth is like you've got your top tooth and you've got your bottom tooth. So if there's no opposing tooth, we mean the one below or the one above. So in a case like that, sometimes what happens, the tooth just starts to come out, call it over eruption. And if that's the case and the tooth has a big cavity, in some cases of like, you know what, this one is worth taking out. Another instance is a tooth that has a root fracture. Man, look, root fractures are rare. They don't happen frequently. They only happen like if, for example, you're in a car accident or you fall or you get beaten up or something like that. And
so basically, a root fracture is when the root breaks. So, like what you see right here, crown. What you don't see is the roots, the foundation. If the foundation breaks, that's what he means.
yeah,
Go on.
yes, it's like the roots of the the root of the tooth. So if the roots like of the tooth have fractured, that tooth needs to come out. And even if it's a front tooth, right? We might use it and might come up with tricks to like um make it look like the space is closed. But a tooth like that is not salvageable. Like you cannot save it with our current technology that we have now in this year, right? So
Mm.
the risk to reward keeping it is not worth taking it out. So a tooth like that would definitely take it out.
Uh, unless if it's not symptomatic. I think there are some soccer players or athletes who've probably had like a blunt injury and they didn't have symptoms for years. They just went to a dentist for a cleaning and they just saw that some roots have either some small fractures or a little bit of fractures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to extract those, but like if there are symptoms, then the best thing is to just remove those.
Yeah. For example, this is how I work. I think you also work like that. If it doesn't bother you, you can sleep and it hasn't bothered you. And it's what we call an incidental finding. An incidental finding is something that,
Like everybody knows work in a dental office. If you hear voices, there's just work in the clinic.
yeah.
It's busy.
So an incidental finding will be, for example, let's say we're just doing a routine check and we take an X-ray. And then on the X-ray, we spot something very strange. Like, oh, what is that? That is an incidental finding. If it's a root fracture that's found like that, we just leave it and monitor. But if you came and you're like, oh, I'm in so much pain, and we see a root fracture, yeah, then we're going to have to start thinking about how do we take out that space, that tooth, and still maintain your aesthetics.
Yeah. And sometimes you will have the opportunity to actually save the tooth. Like the technology for your problem exists. And like, yeah, the technology to save the tooth exists. And the only problem is finances. You can't afford like a root canal because, say, in your area, the cheapest dentist costs 15,000 rands for a root canal and you earn 10,000 rands every month. So some cases you will just have to remove it and find a cheap alternative to replace that missing tooth.
Indeed, because there's no point being in pain. There's no point knowing that you only afford a root canal in 100 years than to alleviate yourself of pain at a cheaper price, right?
'Cause, yeah, you gotta get rid of the infection, you gotta get rid of the pain. You can't live with pain or infection just because Craig and Surprise said nature is better.
Indeed. But if I see you buying a bottle of Verb,
Help me with the noise pollution, Tom.
yeah, if I see you buying a bottle of Bev for 3, you've got no excuse. You've got no excuse, okay? I'm sorry, I'm tired of picking on Gucci.
Yeah, you always like.
So I'm picking on Bev. So if you're buying Bev
How
and you
much is a Verb?
like 1,200,
In the club or at
it's
Tops?
far. It's far.
Oh.
Alright. In the club, if you're buying Bev in the club, please don't use cost as an option. Okay. Okay. Come on, take care of yourself. No judgment. But yeah,
True, yeah.
yeah. But that's an instance where I would take out a tooth.
Sometimes if your gum disease is really, really, really advanced and your tooth is really, really, really curious, like it has holes everywhere, it's moving, you're bleeding, you can't save it, and you can't afford gum treatment, you can't afford surgery, then definitely remove it. That's without guilt.
Indeed. Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
What he's talking about, especially if your tooth has something called grade 3 mobility. So grade 3 mobility is like if we push the tooth this way, it moves, and that way it moves. There's no way we're going to save that tooth. Like with the current set of technology we have, there is no way that tooth can be saved, right? If you're at grade 2, maybe. So grade 2 is like you're just moving this direction a bit aggressively. But at grade 3, that tooth is over. In most cases, you start thinking about replacements. Once I see grade 3 mobility, I start thinking, again, case by case, but in most cases, I would say, look, you are 30, you got some gum disease, we're going to have to lose this tooth. How do we plan to close the space? But yeah, grade 3 mobility in most cases is a definite coming out.
Yeah, definitely. So talk to your dentist and figure out what is the best option for you. Because sometimes you might feel like they're just being dismissive of you because like it's a front tooth and you want to save it. But sometimes it's really just going to cost you more. It's going to give you a lot more headache. Because I imagine it's hard. It's like if you're diabetic and your sugar level is not controlled and you have an injury and it doesn't heal and the only solution is amputation, it's not an easy choice. Like the doctors will come there and tell you and they might sound indifferent and you might have to lose a leg. It's really, really hard. And I'm not saying like losing a tooth is the same extent as losing a limb, but it's still a part of you. So it can be very hard, but sometimes it is the best option for you.
And the best option relative to what we have now. Maybe in 100 years, our technology will be much better and we'll be able to save many teeth. In fact, maybe in 100 years, we won't have the need to have dentists. Who knows? But we're not there. We're here today in this year, And what are cases where you would save teeth?
Cases where I would save a tooth. I think in most cases that the most people I've seen extract teeth is like being uninformed. Like, oh, I have pain, please remove it. I usually try to have a little conversation with them and then tell them all the other options that they have. I don't impose my treatment on them. I just present information so that they can make the right choice. Like, oh, this is just a small little filling and it hasn't reached your nerves, it hasn't reached your pulp. If we numb you up, we remove the decayed and the rotten part and we patch it, you can keep this tooth for a very, very long time, even for the rest of your life. So I think in most cases, it's for most people that insisted on an extraction, it's being uninformed.
Indeed. Indeed.
And you?
Yeah, I'd say most cases the teeth can be saved. I have to let you know that when we take out a tooth in the front, it's just there's no other option.
Because we don't want to do that.
But majority of the time would even do like very like risky and experimental treatment just to save a front tooth. So we really do go out our way to keep a front tooth. Like we go extra hard. A bad tooth, you're like, okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But a front tooth, because that's your aesthetics, we told you that you can't beat nature, so we're like, let's go. So in most cases, front teeth, we do go the extra mile, but um, I think most teeth can be saved. I'd say 85% of the teeth can be saved, 85 to 90. The root fractures, grade 3 mobility are not frequent. And also
Maybe not having enough space to create like a crown
Yeah.
on the tooth. Like you just have a root left. We'll remove that. But
Yeah.
in most cases, it's not very common.
Sorry.
In most cases, we will try to save it, and so should you. And so should your dentist.
Indeed. And so should you. I know sometimes we just seem like we don't understand, but look, dentists are human, and probably on the day you came, they might have had a bad day or something like that. And sometimes we don't explain, it's a busy day, but always feel free to get a second opinion. Always feel free to get a second opinion. And not only that, try to preserve the natural tooth until you're told it cannot be preserved. Then do replace it. It's going to be worth it. Like sometimes, like, why should I spend 20,000 for this implant versus spending 20,000 for 2 bottles of Vev?
Wow.
Vev.
We were called out on this alcohol talk, surprise. It's very unbecoming and unprofessional of dentists to just make these jokes on the internet. And we sincerely apologize. We are being just playful.
Or just being playful. But like if you can spend money on so many other things, like a front tooth especially, I mean, go for it. It will boost your confidence. I've seen people get like front implants and they change. I've seen people look at that closed gaps. I've seen people get braces and
I saw your wonderful video testimony.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
Thank you, Lisa.
thank you, Lisa. So like people's like teeth do change a lot and they do add to your confidence. So do go out and try save a tooth. But if you can't, do try close that gap. And that's
Alright.
it.
And that answers our question on what to do with some teeth. So be well, farewell,
Enjoy
happy
Easter.
Easter. What Easter is? What holiday is this? Is it a Christian holiday?
It's Good Friday.
Good Friday. What
Yeah.
what else is is happening? It's the Easter Bunny. It's the Lord. It's the and who else? Because I figured other religions celebrate this. No, it's just this weekend. It's just
just a Christian thing, if I'm correct. Yeah. Happy Easter.
Khotom.
Yeah.